Hi, it's your girl Felicia, the professional CNA consulting coach. So I am back soliciting to you to please call your state's representative. Call your state's congressman, call your state's senator, and please encourage them to oppose President Donald Trump's proposal to transfer the United States Postal Service over to the Commerce. Here's a few pointers that I will make about the Postal Service. For one, you have noticed, I'm sure, in your state, I know I have in Alabama, where you have maybe in a circumference area, in a circle of different neighborhoods from neighborhoods, you may have 5 post offices in a circle, right, in a circumference. And out of the 5, at least 3 of them only have one clerk at the front desk. Well, what is happening is you're having these cuts. For one, there's a lot of waste in the post office. People coming in and getting the certified signature postal things to send by certified mail, or to send by certified mail with a signature returning back to indicate that the mail has been received. There's just a lot of waste, okay? And so you'll see now they have those little green slips. Most of the time, they have them behind the counter where they can control how many of those things are being used or given out. So when they're on the outside of the counter, people just come in and pick up a lot of them. I'm guilty of it myself. I've done it too, and I've seen, over the years, people do the same thing. And so we're being very wasteful because they're not going to use all of them. And so with all of this waste, with the corporate giving themselves raises, they've got to cut out cost somewhere. And they are doing that by cutting the labor. Well, what happens is if you've only got one person, you have long lines. People have places to go. When you're dealing with the mailroom, you're handling packages, and it takes sometimes looking up zip codes for the customer, and so on and so forth. People get irritated. People get frustrated. They're there just to do one simple thing, maybe just to buy a book of stamps on their lunch break, or they're on their way to work. They're on their way from work and ready to get home and get to bed. And so people get frustrated. And so that being said, people began to use independent mail offices like UPS, neighborhood mailroom, or independent postal rooms, owned by individuals. They have their own postal office. People are using technology now and handling their mail through technology. And these are the conveniences for them to cut down time, uh, cut down even on expenses, perhaps. However, the postal system being an essential worker would be a supervisor, right? Well, you have the supervisor who's working the front desk half of the day. So he's now the supervisor as well as the associate clerk, So for him to say he's going to require only the essential workers, they're already the essential workers. He wouldn't be doing anything that the post office isn't already doing. So to change it over to the Commerce, which is a larger establishment, you're going to run into an overlap with other businesses within the government. We're going to have to use more 1-800 numbers to call if you have a complaint, if you have a lost package, so on and so forth. Well, the Postal Service has set up for those type of situations with 1-800 numbers with online web links, so on and so forth. And you may have to go through a little bit to actually get what you need with that service. But just imagine if it goes into the governmental service, it's going to be even 2 to 3 times more inconveniencing or complex. The Postal Service does have good systems in place to track your items should they get lost. They can locate the time, they can locate who was at work, who was doing this, who was doing that. You can also call your local law enforcement who works well with the Postal Service to find out what has happened with your package and how to resolve your issues. I have twice had the Postal Service to flag. I don't know who the individuals are, but I've had them to flag someone trying to um, transfer my business address to Tampa, Florida. I've had them flag someone try to change my postal address to Tampa, Florida. Someone apparently using my name, my information, and try to transfer in my name to from my previous address over to Tampa, Florida, and they flagged that. I've had the Postal Service be accountable for missed items in my orders that I make online. You know, different store outlets. So they've got very good services in place and systems in place that I just really don't feel it's necessary because they lost $9.5 billion last year in 2024. They need to go into commerce. What the president needs to do is just send in a good task force to see what some of these issues are, like I've just named, see what the Postal Service is doing, that they would lose that much money, which is basically they're cutting back in labor, therefore they're not getting the amount of business that they once were. Technology is here and the competition is out there, and that takes a good portion of their business. So we need to just send in a task force to go in and clean up some of the problems that are going on really at the corporate level that's causing them to lose this money, meaning basically losing out on their customers. So, you know, it's all about customer service and whatever shift shaft stuff they're doing in the background. It doesn't require moving it to commerce. It requires just going in and cleaning it up and doing things the right way. God bless. Call your congressman of your state. And hey, do like I do. Even call and write, send an email to the senators and the congressmen of other states as well. So go to their website. There's a form there you can fill out, and you just tell them why you're contacting them, and that is that you want them to oppose Donald Trump transferring the United States Postal Service to the Commerce Department of the federal government. Have a great day.